I have officially made it to the last part of my surgical rotation. So this is saying a lot. I don't think I've ever had a surgeon be this nice to me. So let me tell y'all about the time I passed out while I was in the OR and how today it almost happened again. I'm on cardiothoracic surgery, and I just feel like, shout out to Big G.O.D. He worked it out. For gen surge, I had to get here in the 5 o'clock hour. For neurosurgery, it was 6 a.m. And for CT, it is 6:30. I woke up at 4:55 this morning, and my alarm, I said Alexa off, and I didn't get out the bed until 5:01. And I still arrived 10 minutes early. So I love this for me. And also, it's not even 9 o'clock, and we're done with rounds. There are no surgeries, no clinic, no nothing. So I'm about to go home, study, and then head to this dermatology appointment. But let me update y'all once I leave this restroom, because someone might be waiting to get in here. All right, so something that I can say that I really enjoy about cardiothoracic surgery already. Oh, by the way, hey y'all, welcome back to Madeittomedicine with Vix. I'm a third-year medical student at the University of Illinois College of Medicine, and I'm currently on my surgery rotation. Last block of it is cardiothoracic for 2 weeks, but not really, because typically exam week, which is next week, we work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, have Thursday off to study, and then Friday is the exam. But for surgery, we only work Monday, Tuesday, and we have Wednesday and Thursday off to study for the exam. So very excited about that. All right, that lighting is so much better. So something I've already liked about being on cardiothoracic surgery is we came in and we worked directly with the physician assistant, and it's 3 of them, I believe, or 2 of them, and then 1 nurse practitioner, but only 1 came in this morning due to the schedule being super light. And the PA immediately started teaching us, like asked, do you know how to pull up the list? Went to the list and then gave us, basically a brief history on both of the patients, who we were going to see. And I keep forgetting, since it's cardiothoracic, so it's the heart and the thoracic cavity, so that's the chest cavity. It's not just heart surgery, right? So they had done a lobectomy, so taking a piece of the lung to see if it were cancerous. And it's not cancerous, which is like the best news to come into. Gave that report to the patient, and they were overjoyed and hugged this teddy bear that the hospital gave them and asked for a brief moment, to like bask in the fact that they don't have cancer. And I'm just like, thank God that they don't have cancer, because I've already done oncology service and I've had multiple patients outside of oncology who have had cancer, and that's just honestly like too much for me to handle. So coming in on a new service, it was nice to see they don't have cancer. So me and another medical student are both on service together, and we got to watch the nurse remove it was a tube, a chest tube. We got to watch them remove a chest tube, and they were asking us like, oh, do you know what this is for? Do you know how many times have you done this? I'm like, actually, we've only done it in a simulation lab, never seen it in real life, but it seemed fairly simple. Like, the trickiest part is making sure you get all of the sutures out of the way, because you don't want the tube to get stuck on anything when you're pulling it out. And then let me see what else. Oh yeah, the nurse said that a surgeon told them like twist the tube a little bit to make sure it's not stuck on anything. Then you want to pack it with gauze. And they had the patient to take some air in, so inhale, hold, because when you're pulling it out, you don't want them breathing, as you don't want any air to get into the pleural cavity to create like a pneumothorax. So air in the lungs, because obviously we want to avoid any complications, any infection, any of those things. And then we're getting ready for some surgeries tomorrow, I believe, so prepping for those, which is cool. And then they were just like, look, I'm going to another hospital. Surgeon had some cases, and at the other hospital, that's where I'm gonna be. And if y'all need to fill out some more cases in your field journal, go ahead and do that. If you don't, go home and study. And I am 30 for 30 field journal, 30 for 30 skills, and I only have 2 physical exams and 2 histories to get filled out, but I did it on gen surge, and I was getting the resident to do it, but then they had to start their service, so I'll get there a little bit earlier tomorrow for them to fill that out for me. But yeah, I'm gonna go home. We gonna do this studying together. And then also I have my dermatology appointment. I don't think I've told y'all on YouTube, but I did post about it on my TikTok that I'm on isotretinoin, which is like one brand that is very popular. It's Accutane. It's for acne, because I've had really, really bad cystic acne for the past, year and a half, 2 years. And I've pretty much maxed out on all the medications that it could give me. So the next step was isotretinoin. I could have started last summer, as in summer 2023, but I did not want to. But a precaution for this, it is extremely teratogenic, meaning birth defects if you get pregnant. So I have to go in monthly for a pregnancy test, and something else you have to use are 2 forms of birth control. So basically some form of a contraceptive method and like a birth control. So I have an IUD, an intrauterine device that is 5 years, Kyleena. And then if you are engaging in any sexual practices, you have to also say that you're going to use condoms. So these are all preventive measures. And if you get pregnant while you're on this, I believe that you can't do it again, because I mean the impacts of it are pretty serious. You can have heart, brain, lung, skin, I think endocrine problems as well. Basically, all these things that go wrong with the fetus, and you can't willfully get pregnant knowing that those are the risks. So yeah, I have plenty of time because I think my appointment is until 3:45 and it is currently 9:39. So I'll go home and study for roughly 4.5 hours, then go to the appointment, and let's see how this Monday is gonna shape up. Happy Monday, y'all. So I just finished studying for 4 hours. I did half of an MBME, which is 25 questions. Cleared out my incorrect questions on UWorld because I finished all of my UWorld surgery questions last Friday. And yeah, I need to get a book bag because the little backpack I have going to the hospital, it's not really working. So I might try to go to the store before I go to this dermatology appointment, but that derm visit is in literally an hour and 20 minutes. We'll see what we can do because I'd rather get in there and get out so I could get back for my study session with my friend. But look at this. Literally, I don't have any incorrects. So incorrects are ticked and there are no surgery incorrects left. And then let's go to unused questions and I have 0. So I've done everything and these are all the questions in surgery. Okay, I literally can't even click it. Let's see if I go to correct. We had 615 questions. And they were all of these topics. So yeah, happy about that. And then I took some notes, things and topics I just kept getting wrong. So I just needed to write them down. And now it's time to go. Seemingly nobody had a book bag. How lame is that? When I tell y'all, I love my new dermatologist so much. My old one would have me there and I'll be like, okay, let me get the first appointment of the day or let me get the last appointment of the day. And I'll be sitting there for an hour. This one, I got there 4 minutes late, was called back within 2 minutes. And then, what happened? Y'all, I'm so tired now. And then the doctor came in within 5 minutes. She's super, super sweet. And she also, clearly asked me, oh, have you had any side effects? I'm just like, no. Only thing I've had is, chapped lips. And she told me what to use. She said Dr. Dan's something. They wrote it down for me. And I was interesting because, people always be saying Aquaphor. I didn't even bring up Aquaphor because we talked about that previously. And so she's like, okay, use this. So I'm going to order that today. But in addition to that, with me saying, no, I haven't had any side effects, she's like, okay, so no blurred vision, no upset stomach, no headaches, no nausea, no vomiting. And I love the thoroughness of her as a physician because, yeah, I can tell you no side effects, but me not even really realizing that these could possibly be side effects, so she gonna go through them anyway. And I'm like, girl, I done read the whole packet of the side effects. No, I ain't had nothing but the dry face a little bit and the chapped lips. And then, so now I went from 20 mgs to now I'm going to go to 30. And she says, basically want you to be on 1 mg per kg a day. So 1 milligram per kilogram a day. So essentially, she said in the chart my weight was 64 kilograms. I have a doctor's appointment tomorrow. So I'm going to have them to actually reweigh me because, is that right? But I mean, I guess it is. I'll do a conversion. She was like, unless you know how much you weigh. And I'm like, girl, no, I don't know. Not in no kilograms. Oh, crazy. Did you want to stop? Wow, people be violent. Anyways, and at the end, once we were done handling all of the business, she asked me, well, how's school going? And, some stark differences between her and my previous dermatologist. The other one, she was always late. She didn't let me talk. She left no space for me. This one, she leaves so much space, so much room for me to be a person. And then she remembers that I'm in medical school. And so I was talking to her about my surgery rotation and then how next month she may not be here. And so I'll see someone else. But she's like, I promise I'll be back after that. But if anything ever happens, and she said this 3 times, if anything ever happens or you have any questions at any point, please message me and I will get back to you as soon as possible. But like, you're doing fine, things are going well, and here's a reminder to be sure that you're eating it with a fatty meal in the breakfast, in the morning or at night. But again, if you have any problems, just let me know. So love that. Striving for amazing patient care, y'all. Amazing patient care. So this is saying a lot. I don't think I've ever had a surgeon be this nice to me. Like, I'm talking, I walk in the room, says, oh, good morning, give the name. I'm like, yeah, I'm an M3, introduces the other M3. It's like, oh, so good to have you. This surgery is gonna be 6 hours long, so that could be a long time to stand on your feet. So maybe y'all should split it. What, you care? You care? Today about to be a good one, y'all. Can't wait to update you. The elevators are literally always broken. So now here I am, taking the stairs, and I've never taken on the basement, so I was confused. Y'all, I was in that OR so long. I went from awake to sleepy to awake. I was like oscillating, and then I was so hungry to the point where my stomach was growling until it couldn't even growl no more. But let me tell you all the things I did after I catch this bus. Let me tell y'all about the time I passed out while I was in the OR and how today it almost happened again. This was my very first time being in the OR. I had gone home with my friend for spring break, and her dad is a general surgeon, mom's an internist. And when we went to the surgery, it was a hernia repair. And I remember asking, how close can I get to the patient? And he was like, as long as you're not in my elbow room. Cool, say less. How long is the surgery gonna be? Says about an hour or so. Cool, no problem. I'm getting super close. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so cool, because I always want to be a surgeon. I'm like, oh my gosh. Next thing you know, I feel flushed. I feel lightheaded. I feel hypoglycemic. And I'm backing up from the patient bed all the way to the wall really, really slowly. I looked at my friend and I said, I don't think I feel too good. How do we get out of here? She shows me the door and she's like, what you mean? I couldn't talk anymore. Next thing I know, I grabbed the door to where we scrub in at and I collapsed. Her dad goes, who was that? And he asked, like, was it this nurse name? Because apparently a nurse, she always would pass out. And they were like, no, it's Vicky. And he was like, oh my gosh, Vicky, are you okay? Are you okay? Get her some juice, get her some water. I just remember waking up in the locker room with some apple juice and some water. Now, let's see, how did that compare to today? Because this happened like 16 years ago. And now are we here all over again? So apparently I forgot to come back to that video and talk about how I almost fell out or like fainted, had a syncopal episode once again. For one, I don't eat beef or pork, and I was with some friends the day before that day in the OR, and a friend cooked for us, seemingly forgot that it was beef that they cooked with, and I had eaten half of the taco. By the time they alerted me, I stopped, and I'm thinking, okay, I hadn't eaten all of it, I'll be fine. Come fast forward to the day of the surgery, I had the bubble guts before the surgery, like all morning long, and I think that beef really upset my stomach. My body hasn't built up the enzymes to break beef down. I'll spare you all of those GI details. But all that to say, the breakfast that I had was no longer inside of me. So as I was in the surgery, it wasn't gory or anything to me. It was actually very, very cool. As I've never like seen a heart outside of the anatomy lab, but I have no nutrients. And so I'm literally getting lightheaded. The surgery was about 7 hours long. And yeah, as I said earlier in the video, the surgeon was like, oh, y'all should choose who's gonna scrub in half and half because it's gonna be so long. Like, never had a surgeon care about that. It's just like, yeah, this is definitely gonna tell you how long the surgery is gonna be. You look at the board and you see it's gonna be X time frame. But I chose to scrub in first. But in the beginning part, they were doing a lot of like grafting to find a vein to attach in other parts of the body. And it wasn't really like much surgery or much teaching because I had to like move out of the way because I mean, they're doing what they're doing to, you know, make this person's life improved. So when it came time for the halfway part of the surgery, my colleague scrubs in, and so I just moved so that they could get the better view since I'd already been scrubbed in for half the time, but I didn't scrub out. So at this point, my stomach is growling. I think I got a little lightheaded, and I had to start like squeezing my hands to like keep blood flow there because I felt my body shifting and swaying, and I just didn't want to pass out, especially because the surgeon asked me, "Oh, you're not gonna pass out, are you?" And I was like, "No, why would I do that?" He was like, "You'd be surprised how many students come on my service and they pass out from open heart surgery." And I was just like, "No, I've been in so many surgeries before, but it's understandable because my first time in the OR, I almost passed out, and then here I am about to pass out again." I did not pass out. They asked some anatomy questions during the surgery, got those right. Proud of myself because anatomy has never been my strong thing, but I have been actively working on it. And I am just so happy that I'm like better now. And you know, it's the growth. It is the improvement of staying on 2 feet for a 7-hour surgery with nothing in my system. Proud of me, and next time I'll actually scrub out, eat the granola bars that are in my pocket because they're there for a reason, and then come back. But yeah, it was a great day. It was really a great day.